Let's take a look at the Directories Files project in your File I/O folder. We're going to talk about working with the directory and the file classes. Now we're going to concentrate on the info classes. Info classes are going to allow us to work with the instance methods. That allows us to work nice and neat. So you can see here within the main area, we are going to get a path, create a path here, testing folder. There is a testing folder within the project folder, and you want to just copy it to wherever you're going to create your local path. I'm just doing it on the C drive here. If you want to do the same, just copy it. And you want to copy the folder. You don't want to move the folder. That way you have those files there ready for you. Just some files that are masquerading as JPEG files. They're not really JPEG files, but they have the JPEG extension, and it's just text. And we're going to create subdirectories in that directory as well. That's going to allow this project to work. So we use the directory info to initialize a variable here, declare and initialize a variable. We're going to create a new directory info. We're going to pass the path, and that's going to allow us to get a directory info object here that we can manipulate. You see that we're going to create an array here of files, file info, and we're going to be able to use our directory to get files where we can provide a mask, star.jpg, and that's going to just allow us to pick the JPEG files. You can find more methods and properties. As you can see here, we're going to explore some, but you get quite a lot. If you eliminate some of the other ones that you're used to from the object hierarchy, then you can see that there are plenty still to work with. Directory and file info. So when we do that, then we're going to actually let us know from the console how many files we have, how many JPEG files are in that folder. So we use the dot length to give us the length of this array, because get files is going to pass an array object back, and we're going to fill it within a file here. It's going to pass back file info array of files. So then we just do a for each. So for each f in that array, fi, we're going to output the name, f.name, the size, which is f.length. That's the size of the file. And then the creation time, and then attributes. So these are some of the properties that we can actually set, and we use the toString here as well. There are additional ones. I recommend that you research that depending on which ones you need, and then you can figure out based on your projects what you can do and what you need. Pretty easy. You just basically take what is available to you and continue from there. So after that, we're just going to loop and just print out the attributes. Additionally, we're going to use the try catch with the exceptions here in order to create some subdirectories, which allows us to use that directory object, directory info object, and we're going to create subdirectories within our path that we have originally for that directory. And then we can do the same thing 3 different ways. The @ sign, of course, is going to allow us to ignore the fact that we just want to use a backspace here. We don't want to have to put in an additional backspace in here to make this literal. And you can also just do the double backslash this way without the @ sign, just to let you know how that works. And this would be typical of how you would work with your files, because you want to make sure that you're checking for exceptions that could come up when a particular directory structure is invalid, when something doesn't work, when a file is not found, things like that. You definitely want to do a lot of tests within your file manipulation routines. So we can just debug. And then you see our output. 7 files. We get the first name, 1.jpg, the size in bytes here, the time it was created, and then any attributes that are contained on the file. They would be all different if they were changed separately. And then I just have them numbered sequentially, so you'll see them sequentially there. And you can scroll down, and it's really the same. And then it just says that the directories are created. No big deal. But again, you want to manipulate things as you need to and work with additional methods as you need to. Things really get to be a standard thing for individuals, meaning that you need something specifically for your routines, and if you're familiar with working with Visual Basic or Java or any other language, it works pretty much the same. You just have some attributes that you can work with and particular methods that are going to help you along. And And we can just take a look at the folder, and you can see that the files are here, and then the subfolders were created one after the other.